All right, so I've been playing quite a bit more Warcraft 3 lately, and ever since like the last patch or so, I've probably kind of doubled my loss rate with Night Elf. I don't know, just maybe just that little. I think it's a combination of things. Maybe the fact that everyone's kind of getting used to like the keeper meta with, and now we have some elf nerfs and some buffs for the other races. I still think elf's in a fine spot, but I mean, just versus, I don't feel any of my matchups are particularly lopsided at all. In fact, I feel kind of disadvantaged sometimes against human and against a good orc on certain maps. But I could be completely wrong. That's just what I've experienced. And my server has a ton of undead, so I play on West, not the best server in the world. But I figured I keep losing with Keeper against a lot of or some of the good undeads on my server, and so I've been trying some other stuff. Um, and kind of felt like making a video about it. Maybe it might help some of you out. And plus, it's really fun to play. So this guy Edge. He's pretty good. I've lost him a few times. I beat him a few times too. When he does stupid strategies against me. But he's rank 2 on the server, so he's pretty good. He's like 900 wins, 100 losses. And then I'm kind of around the same win rate player. But yeah, so let's get into the strategy. I really like playing Tavern first. And a couple reasons why let me turn the sound up a little bit, I think. I really like playing Tavern first. Just because I don't know, maybe because it's more fun, but you get the 3 archers out immediately. And another advantage is late game keeper against undead and human for that matter, and even orc sometimes is almost completely useless. Like you have a level 4 or level 5 keeper, you can entangle and you can force of nature. You're just feeding experience and destroyer mana against undead past a certain point. So the entire purpose of the keeper, the grove in this matchup, is to get a really good early game. So debatably, it's still worth it to use the keeper just to get that strong early game. And then if you get to a point where you are killing the destroyers, then it is awesome to have a keeper. But having that good early game, getting those treants out, level 2 entangles against fiends is really good. However, I don't know. I've been experimenting more with the tavern just for fun. And let's see. So let me speed it up a bit. So, I stand ready. Another nice thing about this is you can usually kill the scout acolyte because you'll have archers out sooner. Now I have been trying a couple different heroes first, but by far my favorite is Alchemist, and I don't really know if you can choose any other hero first. I mean, you could choose the Beastmaster or the Dark Ranger, but at that point you really have to ask yourself, you're not actually playing a good strategy. What you're doing is just you're just being different for the sake of being different. So one thing that your opponent might do when seeing that you're doing a tavern build realizes that he can get to your creep quicker because the tavern hero comes out like 10 seconds later or something. So it's kind of hard. It's kind of a bit harder to Ancient of War creep and get 3 archers out. So I could have gotten 2 archers out and cleared this, but I kind of wanted to get more archers out quicker, as if I can get Acid Bomb, and he's right here. If I can get Acid Bomb, I can instantly snipe the Ogre Magi here. And if I get that Ogre Magi early, this is such an advantageous creep to get in a game when spawns are like cross spawn like this. So I rather would get more archers out. Plus, if you have 3-4 archers in a hero, you just destroy this anyway. And archers take barely any damage from the turtles anyway. So A cool thing about the Alchemist first, a really cool thing about the Alchemist first is Chemical Rage against the Death Knight, because there's no way for him to effectively heal early game. So if you can get any sort of damage on him, like he's in a bad spot, because just Chemical Rage can chase him down, and so if he gets low enough, he's gonna have to TP. And this even like if you get a level 2, imagine, let's say you have a level 2 Alchemist and like 5 or 6 archers or something, and his DK is half health, and he thinks he can engage on you because whoever goes Alchemist first. So he walks toward you as you acid bomb and Chemical Rage, and all the archers hit him. And so now he's instantly at like a 3rd health, and he goes, crap, I need to run, and you just right click him with the Alchemist, and now you're just left alone for the next like 2 minutes of the game. And you can creep faster than he can, because you know he's teching so fast, and it takes a while to get fiends out and stuff. He might be able to take less damage while creeping, but you can do it faster. Plus you have Ancient of Wars, and you're usually expanding and stuff like that. Though the undeads that I lose to are the ones that quick expand. So yeah, getting damage on the Death Knight is super helpful, and the Alchemist I think is the best hero at it. Maybe the second best hero is the Keeper of the Grove. So he was dumb here and decided to auto attack my hero for a bit, and that's just not good, because especially if I get some good damage rolls. I mean, I'm doing 22 to 55 damage. Look, he's already at half health, or maybe 6/10 health. It was a pretty short time, and I'm creeping on this other side, and now he can't go out, because if he goes and tries to harass my archers, looks like I'm pretty sloppy here. If he goes and tries to harass my archers, I'm just going to chase him down with Chemical Rage, because that's a really short cooldown. Also, I'm usually not a fan of buying Boots of Speed, just because I'm super greedy, but I think it's definitely worth buying it with the Alchemist, just in this matchup, in order just to chase the Death Knight down. So, you know, I'm able to creep a bit, just with my Ancient of War. It looks like I could have done that much sooner. You know, just need to be playing better. I should probably also have an additional archer than I currently have. Another reason why you can go Alchemist first now and you weren't able to before is the fact that wells get a little bit more mana during the night. Before, it was just completely impossible to use a hero like this with 1 armor and so much health. It just wouldn't ever work. And now, especially if you make 4 wells early, I only made 3 wells because I want to expand right here. But the increased regeneration on the wells allow you to get more. Allow you to use a hero like the Alchemist. And so yeah, I'm expanding here as early as I can, making archers. I really like playing Hippogriff Riders, and that's another reason I'll get into why I like the Alchemist first. So what I was doing is I wanted to try and creep this pretty quick and get here so I could get this, but he pulled a fast one on me and crept it. And now I don't know why. I should have literally just went straight there. This was a mistake on my part, because my Alchemist really isn't that low. But I wanted to have a full HP Alchemist in case I got creep jacked. I should have just went here and crept it anyway. And plus, if I did, obviously, it might have been just like GG right now, because I would have like taken all the goodies from him. And remember, his Death Knight's low because I was harassing him early. Or I was chasing him early. So I get the idea, maybe he's doing it, because I haven't seen him for a bit, and I go and I see that he is, and I imagine this archer probably scares him a bit, like looking at it from his perspective. He sees an archer and he has low hero and low ghouls. Yeah, but I was too late. And I don't know why. Oh, I was hiding from the creeps, but I know he can see me because he has the ward. And so this is why I like the Alchemist. Look at this. What's he gonna do? He wants to maybe kill some archers, steal some creeps, but that's completely impossible, because especially if you animation cancel like I just did, like you can get that first hit off with Chemical Rage. I mean the cast times are a lot quicker if you animation cancel them. So he wants to kill an archer. He probably will, but look, his DK is just screwed now. And I should have bought a pair of boots earlier, because I might have gotten like 2 more attacks on him. I guess it wouldn't have mattered that much, but he would have really had to get out of there. So look, I'm just a bully right now. I got 800 HP, gloves of haste, and he really can't move out very well on the map. Tome of intelligence, that's not bad. Okay, so the reason why I really like the Alchemist first is because I really like Hippogriff Riders. And Hippogriff Riders are really good against Undead, unless the Undead has like an expansion and a lot of fiends. So look at this, I could just be a bully with him with these 2 heroes. There isn't too much he could do about it. Like, even go into his base a little bit. One thing that's cool about Hippo Riders is they just dominate Undead if you have a gold lead. And they're basically like wyverns. They do the same damage as wyverns. They really do. You might look at the actual damage and think that wyverns do more, but Hippogriff Riders actually have it's like twice the attack rate. It's like 1.1 cooldown versus like 2 seconds. So double the attack speed, half the damage. And I think they might even do more damage than wyverns now due to the new archer upgrade. However, they also have a huge range. They're more expensive, but they have a really big range. So they're great against Undead. The problem is you need to be at an advantage. Now, one thing that the Panda is very good against are fiends. One thing that the Alchemist is very good against are fiends. So by using this hero combo, I'm basically going all in on the weakness of Hippogriff Riders, which is fiends. And with Acid Bomb, you do, what is it? So it's 18, 24, 30% more damage based on the armor reduction to fiends if they have the Acid Bomb debuff applied to them. So really good combo against Undead. The only problem is getting that expansion, getting a good early game. If you can get a decent early game and creeped up, then you're in a good spot. And what's nice is the Alchemist isn't always able to do that, but is usually able to do that decently well, assuming you can get some pressure on the DK. Now, I definitely miss not having like entangled roots and stuff like that. And if he gets a really early lich and is putting pressure on you with like 3 fiends and lots of skeletons, it can be kind of tough. And so on a map like this, I'd probably have the advantage. It's a bit harder for him. And it's especially a bit harder for him to expand here, which is my biggest issue against Undead, are Undeads who expand. So this, I mean, I think I have the advantage before this game even starts. So I'm getting my expo pretty early. Not super early, but early enough.
Your building is complete.
Tome of Intelligence is super nice for the Panda. That's like a whole level of mana. Tome of Intelligence +2, I mean. And so, like, look at this. It's very hard. So I should lose this fight, right? I have one. It's not fun to have archers against ghouls, skeletons, a lich. It's very not fun. If you were to guess who would win this fight, you would definitely say him. However, he does not have anything but a town portal on his Death Knight. And you're thinking, oh, there's no way you could do that much damage to a Death Knight in such a short time. That is where you're wrong. The Alchemist does a ton of damage, and I have Gloves of Haste and Slippers of Agility, so this is 6% attack speed, 15% attack speed, and I get almost all of that. if you're to do the math, you'll realize that you don't get all of the attack speed that it says. However, the lower your agility, the more you benefit from attack speed. So I'm getting really close to that 15% and that 6%. And even when I chemical rage, the Alchemist actually turns into a new hero that has has a lower base attack cooldown. And so I'm still benefiting from that attack speed. So I get 15% attack speed on that new transformation of the Alchemist. So you can dish out a ton of damage. He even has a ring +4. And so I'll negate that ring with Acid Bomb, but just watch. So he engages and realizes, oh crap, I got to get that DK out of there. And I could just, what I did is just started microing everything. I mean, not super well, but just acid bombing and right clicking the DK. And then trying to micro everything else. Just to basically save it from the ghouls and the lich. And what can he do? He can't run because I have Boots of Speed and Chemical Rage, so he's going to have to TP. And, yep, look at this. So, didn't go very well for him. And now he gets the full wrath of Acid Bomb, Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire. And I probably could have killed 2 fiends here. But, I mean, 2 ghouls here, but I don't think I did it very well. Oh well. I think I get this one. He should have. I don't know why he didn't coil it. Oh, he's going to heal scroll it. He just did it a little too late. Yeah, and why would he come in again? The same thing is going to happen. I'm just going to right click his DK. So, you see the utility of it. And I think at this point, like, as long as I play right, I've already won the game. The game is already won right now. It's only 8 minutes in, but I put so much pressure on him that he can't, I don't think he can come back. He doesn't have an expansion. He probably doesn't have a lot of gold because it looked like he went a little ghoul heavy to creep this early. He just got handed it. He just got it handed to him, like in 2 fights, which is not what's supposed to happen against Night Elf at this point in the game if your opponent has like a non-keeper of the Grove hero. So he's supposed to dominate me because I don't have the Keeper of the Grove. But now, late game, I don't have the Keeper of the Grove, so I don't need to worry about destroyers. So destroyers are like completely useless. Why would he even make destroyers, you know? He should probably just go... Maybe the best idea would be to get a tower in here and then tower up an expansion right here and maybe harass while it's happening or something so I don't cancel it and then start going to crypt mass fiends. Maybe something like that. The problem with that is I can creep during that time and get like 4 and 5 on acid bomb and haze fire, and I'm just going to be doing like I don't know, like 400 damage every 8 seconds with spells. So he had to have a better early game against me. He didn't have that early game. I think it's over. I'm getting an expansion up. I'm going to send some wisp. I'm sending wisp from over here, so I'm going to be mining on time, or pretty close to on time. And I'm just going to mass upgraded Hippogriff Riders. And what's he going to do? Because I can melt fiends. Remember, fiends get melted with acid bomb, breath of fire, focus fire. So I would say the rest of the game is a formality at this point, but we'll go until it looks super obvious that he has no chance left. Okay. So I figured I would creep this right here and then kind of walk around and creep that, I think that was my strategy. Oh, no. Yeah, so look at this. This is so nice for me. Ooh, he might lose that ghoul. That sucks. But yeah, like, why would you be going destroyers? That's a huge mistake on his part. I don't have anything that destroyers work against, so just force a habit. People copy what pros do without thinking. And so this is really nice for me. I could probably get a fiend here, and he's low. He needs to get out of here. This is just a bad game for him at this point. But yeah, like, even if he coils that, I mean, I have Hippogriff Riders and an Alchemist on him. And, ooh, I got a Ruined Bracers this game, so that's pretty nice. So,
Research finished.
yeah. Speed it up a bit. Pretty straightforward now. Another cool thing about the Panda is haze. Even haze level 1 causes like a miss chance of, what is it? I don't think it has it here, but it's like 35-40%. So that's like increasing the armor. Okay, so here's some math. Armor scales linearly, so you might not think that's the case. You might think it scales with diminishing returns. That's not true. You're wrong. It scales linearly. So you could look at every 16.7 points of armor as having 100% more physical resistance. And that's true for all units and armor types. So that means you would have effectively 100% more health against physical attacks if you were to have 16.7 armor. Now, obviously 16.7 armor is insane. If anything had that much, it would take forever to die. Well, you could do the math, and having 50% chance to miss, or 50% chance evasion, or however you want to look at it, would be the equivalent of having 16.7 points of armor. So basically, picture haze like this from the Panda. When you cast haze on things, let's say it's level 1 haze, I think it's 40%. It might be 35%. That's like now all the units that have haze on them, the units that the haze units attack, it's like attacking units with 10 more armor on them, because that's the amount of damage reduction that that's basically the amount of damage reduction that you're going to get. So imagine when you haze a creep, what you're instead doing is giving your Panda Inner Fire, level 3 Devotion Aura, and like a Scroller Protection all at the same time, just for 70 mana. So haze, really useful for creeping. So I can kind of go around the map. I don't need to heal myself just because these abilities are so strong. And now, this is something I really like doing to undeads with Hippogriff Fighters. Usually, terrible idea to fight in an undead space. Terrible idea. Fighting against fiends in an undead base, however, especially an undead base that isn't towered with spirit towers, is actually better than fighting on the open battlefield. Especially if you could, like, hide yourself back here. Because look at this. This base... This is like nice against like a Blade Master, like Raiders or something. Absolutely terrible against Hippogriff Riders or Wyverns, or whatever they're called, Wind Riders, because he can't get any surface area. So I'm just gonna walk in here, and I assume he's like creeping this or this or this or something, and this is just terrible for him. And yeah. It's already over. He must have been having a bad game or something. So now he's teleporting. But look at this. I have all my stuff over here. I have an 800 hit point hero with 4 armor. A 950 hit point hero with 3 armor and Ruined Bracers. And he has no way to hit me. He has like no way to get back here. Even if he were... Like, he had to teleport right here. The problem was, I think he'd be trapped, or just, no, he wouldn't be trapped, but it'd be a hassle for him. And remember, I have Breath of Fire and a high damaging hero, 37 to 64 points of damage, plus 5, plus level 2 Chemical Rage, which is 75% increased attack speed, but significantly more than that, because remember the way it works with the way higher levels of Chemical Rage work with attack speed increasing items. So, yeah. Really, really good spot for me. And I could like leave this archer here too, so he can't even get him with this hero. I probably should have shadow mounted it, but whatever. Look how fast I took this out, because 2 points of upgrades and war drums. And look, I could just like 1 by 1 kill stuff now, and there's nothing he can do. So I mean, game's over at this point. Yeah, just. One thing I'm learning is that the better you play, the worse your opponents play. So sometimes people get all triggered and say, "Oh, I played so bad this game. That's the only reason why you won." Well, maybe I made you play bad, because I have games all the time where I play like a guy who's like 100 wins, 3 losses, and I get destroyed, and I get so frustrated. I'm like, "Oh, I had like 800 gold at one point, and I forgot to build wisps in my expansion, and I made this stupid mistake and this stupid mistake." But that's not giving him credit, or her credit, probably him, but whatever. That's not giving my opponent credit, because it's their good play that caused me to suffer in my multitasking ability, right? So, yeah, don't get resentful when you lose and think, "Oh, I played so bad." Well, no, they played well and they forced you to play bad. So, anyways, yeah, this guy's screwed. Didn't play. It wasn't the best game for him, notwithstanding. But that's kind of what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna play the rest of it because I don't want to put him in a bad light. I think he starts raging a little bit. He's actually a cool guy, but it was a good game, in at least from my at least it was really fun for me in that it showed that, like, if you get that decent early game with an alchemist, it's so hard for the undead to come back unless they hit you with like that perfect timing push. But if you can get an expansion with an alchemist and like a not bad early game, it's very difficult for them to come back. So cool little strategy. Figured I would share it. Let me know what you think.